Now let us discuss the Canterbury Tales, which is Geoffrey Chaucer's greatest literary achievement and one of the most celebrated works in world literature. It was written somewhere between 1387 and 1400, and it represents the culmination of Chaucer's artistic genius and marks the highest point of Middle English literature. So it lays the foundation of English narrative poetry. It's neither a simple story, not merely a collection of unrelated tales. Instead, it is a carefully constructed frame narrative in which a larger story provides the setting for numerous individual narratives. So this innovative structure allowed Chaucer to combine entertainment with social observation, and it created a vivid portrayal of 14th century England. Although Chaucer originally planned to compose approximately 120 tales, with each pilgrim narrating two stories on the journey to Canterbury and two on the return, the work remained unfinished due to his death in 1400. Only 24 tales and the General Prologue survived. Yet, even in its incomplete form, the Canterbury Tales is regarded as one of the greatest masterpieces of English literature. The work is revolutionary because it shifts the focus from legendary heroes and saints to ordinary human beings. Kings, knights, monks, merchants, lawyers, physicians, millers, wives, cooks, and laborers all become central figure here. So Chaucer presents them with remarkable realism, humor, sympathy, and also psychological depth. So, unlike medieval allegory, where characters merely represented abstract virtue or vices, Chaucer's pilgrims are living individuals. They possess strengths and weaknesses, virtues and faults, ambitions and prejudices. Through them, Chaucer creates what many critics describe as a miniature portrait of medieval England. So kindly make a note of it, a miniature portrait of medieval English. Only 24 tales were finished out of the planned 120 tales. It's very important. The importance of the Canterbury Tales extends beyond England. It influenced narrative literature throughout Europe and established the English language as a vehicle for sophisticated artistic expression. Its themes of love, greed, faith, justice, hypocrisy, and human nature remain universally relevant. One of Chaucer's greatest innovation is his use of the frame narrative, sometimes called as the frame story. A frame narrative is a literary technique in which several independent stories are connected by an overarching narrative. In the Canterbury Tales, the frame is a pilgrimage from London to Canterbury. During this journey, pilgrims belonging to different social classes entertain one another by telling stories. So this simple device enabled Chaucer to include a remarkable variety of narratives like romances, fabliaux, saints' legends, beast fables, sermons, example, and moral tales without making the work appear disjointed. While the miller tells a humorous and often bawdy fabliaux. The frame narrative also allows Chaucer to reveal the personalities of the storytellers. Each tale reflects the values, profession, temperament, education, and social position of the pilgrim who tells it. For example, the knight narrates a noble romance, while the miller tells a humorous and often bawdy fabliaux. So the tales themselves become extension of the storyteller's characters. This structural technique creates both unity and diversity. The pilgrimage binds the work together, while the different tales display the richness of medieval literary tradition. So here Chaucer was inspired partly by the Decameron, but he transformed the frame narrative into something uniquely English. Whereas Boccaccio's storytellers belong to relatively homogeneous social group, Chaucer's pilgrims represent almost every section of the medieval society, making his work far broader and social in scope. So, the pilgrimage to Canterbury. Now, the pilgrimage provides the settings for the Canterbury Tales. And in medieval England, pilgrimages were among the most popular forms of religious devotion. People traveled to sacred shrines seeking forgiveness of sins, divine blessings, miraculous healings, or spiritual comfort. And Chaucer's pilgrims are traveling to Canterbury Cathedral to visit the shrine of Thomas Becket. Very important. Please make a note of it. Chaucer's pilgrims are traveling to Canterbury Cathedral to visit the shrine of Thomas Becket, who was murdered in 1170 after his famous conflict with King Henry II. It's very important. Kindly make a note of it. Thomas Becket, who was murdered in 1170 when he had a conflict with King Henry II. So, canonized shortly after his death, Becket became one of the most revered saints in the medieval England, and his shrine attracted pilgrims from across Europe. So, the pilgrimage is significant not merely as a physical journey, but also a symbolic one. Medieval readers would have recognized the journey as an allegory of human life itself, a movement from the earthly world towards spiritual fulfillment. So Chaucer, however, transforms this religious journey into a lively social event. His pilgrims laugh, argue, compete, flirt, quarrel, and entertain one another. This combination of sacred purpose and everyday human behavior gives the work its extraordinary realism. The pilgrimage also creates a natural opportunity for the people from different occupations and social classes to meet. Such encounters would have been unusual in ordinary medieval life but become entirely plausible within the context of religious journey. Next is the Tabard Inn, and its location is in Southwark, London. So the story begins at the Tabard Inn, which is situated in Southwark, just outside the medieval London. And inns such as the Tabard served as important meeting places for travelers before embarking on longer journeys. So on an April evening, Chaucer arrives at the inn and meets 29 fellow pilgrims preparing to travel to Canterbury. This is also important how many pilgrims were there in the Canterbury Tales. So there were 29 fellow pilgrims along with Chaucer, who is also present as one of the pilgrims. So total 30 pilgrims were there. And this chance meeting becomes the foundation of the entire narrative. So they meet at Tabard Inn. And Tabard Inn symbolizes the beginning of both the physical and literary journey. It is here that strangers from different walks of life first encounter one another, creating a temporary community united by a common destination. So Chaucer's description of the inn is warm and welcoming. Rather than emphasizing religious solemnity, he presents an atmosphere of companionship, conversation, and anticipation. So this tone prepares readers for the lively storytelling that follows. Now, one of Chaucer's finest creation is Harry Bailey. Harry Bailey is the jovial host of the Tabard Inn. And although not one of the original pilgrims, he voluntarily joins the journey and proposes the famous storytelling competition that gives the Canterbury Tales its structure. So Harry Bailey suggests that each pilgrim should tell two stories on the journey to Canterbury and two on the return journey. So, upon returning, the pilgrims who tells the best tale will receive a free supper at the Tabard Inn. And that was the reward paid for by the rest of the company. So, that was the reward of the competition. The one who tells the best tale will receive a free supper at the Tabard Inn. And that would be paid by the rest of the company. So, as the judge of the competition, Harry Bailey performs several important literary functions. He introduces storytellers. He is the one to settle disputes. Also, he comments upon the tales and maintains the continuity of the narrative. His lively personality injects humor and energy into the work. Unlike many medieval authority figures, Harry Bailey is practical, good humored, and democratic. He speaks comfortably with nobles and commoners alike, helping create the atmosphere of equality that characterizes the pilgrimage. Without Harry Bailey, the Canterbury Tales would simply be a collection of stories. So, through his leadership, Chaucer transforms it into a dynamic conversation among diverse members of medieval society. So please remember the host, Harry Bailey, and he was the organizer of storytelling contest. And he was the one to ensure the narrative unity in the Canterbury Tales. He is the one unifying the narrative. He maintains the dramatic continuity. He connects one tale to another, and he is the one to add humor as well as realism. So Harry Bailey is a very important figure in the Canterbury Tales. As we come to the end, I would like to ask a question to you. Why did Chaucer choose a pilgrimage instead of a royal court or a university or a marketplace for this work, for his masterpiece, The Canterbury Tales? Please write your answer in the comment section and let me know what you think about it. Thanks for watching the video. In the next video, we will be discussing the general prologue and some of the tales from the Canterbury Tales. That will be the last video on the Age of Chaucer. So thanks for watching again. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching.